So I have my stack here of some books that I'm going to be recommending for you guys to read in 2025. And I feel like why this is so fun is because a lot of times we are having like a limited budget, okay? So we have a limited budget, and I think that we forget how valuable books are in terms of like the information that we can get. Like some of these books, people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to like have these authors as their mentors, to like take their classes and courses, and like we get to come in and for like $9 get this insight. I mean, it's truly so exciting, and I think that we kind of take it for granted a little bit. And some of that too is because, you know, of course, we've all read like a ton of books and then done nothing about the information in them. But I still think it's good. I still think that it's getting in here somewhere. And so I highly recommend these 6 books to be on your TBR, your to be read list for 2025. And they are a mix. So some of them, you know, there's a business, there's a marketing, there's a like service, like how to work on your body language. And then there's 2, not like biographies, but 2 books by huge rock stars like in our industry that I highly just enjoyed and were super refreshing to me, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so the first book that I want to talk about is really the most businessy book that I have to recommend, and that is 10x is better than 2x, okay? So this book is really surprising me as I go through it. The whole premise of it is that to double our business, okay, so if you're sitting there and you're at $4,000 sales per month and you're like, I want to get to 8K, I want to hit 10K months. If you're wanting to double your business, there's tons of different ways to get there, okay? But if you sat back and you were like, okay, how do I go from 4,000 to 40,000 a month? There's only going to be like maybe 2 or 3 ways that you could really make that happen. And so what it does when we think about 10xing versus 2xing is it actually pushes us to be more creative, to think outside of the box, to kind of think bigger and differently, where sometimes when we're thinking about just doubling our business, we're almost just creating more busy work for ourselves versus thinking like outside of the box, bigger and better. So this has been super fascinating. I'm almost halfway through here, and I don't know, it's really expanding my own mindset around how I set up processes in my business and how I could do it better. So highly recommend. 10x is easier than 2x, okay? So that's like the business book recommendation. So then I have a mindset recommendation, which I know that mindset stuff, some people love it, some people are like, okay. But what I found with a lot of entrepreneurs, and even in like my own entrepreneur journey as an educator in this industry, is that it's really hard for us to make more money when we don't believe we deserve it, when we have all of these like blocks around making more money. And so this book is what I would recommend. It's called Chill and Prosper by Denise Duffield Thomas. And I really liked her book, Get Rich Lucky Bitch. It was awesome. It really showed me a lot about, you know, even how media portrays successful women or rich women or women who earn a great living like every single month. And how that impacts us. I mean, if you guys think about it, the way that women are portrayed, successful women, in the media is very off-putting. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like, oh, well, I I don't want to be like that wealthy woman, right? Who has a home where like she's been divorced, all of her kids hate her, she's mean, she's cruel, she's stomped over everyone to get to the top, right? Like that's a lot of the perception that we get in media, movies, etc. about successful women. So it's like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. You know, even I'm not like a super material person. So like, I like my paid off car that's old. You know what I mean? Like, I like my, you know, clothes or items that I've had for 10 plus years. Like, in order to be successful, if that means that I need to drive the latest car, live in the biggest house, like wear these fancy labels in order to get there, like I'm not into it. But she helps us understand that like these are boundaries and barriers that we're kind of placing on ourselves, and that having a successful business can be easier than we let it be, and just, you know, how hard we are on ourselves. So I highly recommend this one. Denise is also great at making these so easy to read. So a lot of times, you know, I'll just pick this up in the morning and go through a few pages and I'm already like inspired, seeing things that, you know, I've gotten maybe lax about with my own like mindset work. So highly recommend, okay? Chill and Prosper. Okay, the next one is the only kind of marketing book that is in my list right now, but it's really, really fascinating. So some of you may not know, but before I got into the industry, I actually graduated high school and then went to college, and I got a marketing degree, okay? So marketing has always been fascinating to me, mostly the psychology of it. So once I understood like how much psychology kind of goes into marketing and advertising, I feel like I was just hooked, right? Like we're helping people, and it's super fascinating to me, especially that in the wrong hands, like the people who aren't ethical are doing all of these tricks. Like I want to know how to be a super ethical, great educator for you guys and use all the tricks to get in front of you, because that's what the unethical people are doing, right? So it's like, I don't know, I find it fascinating. So this book is called Seducing Strangers: How to Get People to Buy What You're Selling. And I feel like it's a super cheesy, you know, like title and everything, but what made me gravitate towards this one is that the author was the main marketing consultant on the movie Mad Men. So if you guys remember, Mad Men was like this huge show all about advertising companies in the 50s, I think. And so he was brought in as the marketing consultant because he was a successful advertiser for major corporations. So as he's going through this book, kind of sharing wisdom on advertising and marketing and showing up and the psychology of everything, he's also sharing a lot of the advertising campaigns, you know, the most successful ones, the ones that have failed. And it is so fascinating. Like I've really loved looking at it, and it's just a fresh reminder. Again, you know, we are kind of in a bubble in our industry that's like a lot of the same, you know, and then we see people we admire and it's the same. So it's nice to kind of get an outsider's perspective and a fresh look at kind of everything that's going on. So again, Seducing Strangers, and this one is by Josh Weltman, and John Hamm, who is the actor in Mad Men, actually wrote the foreword, but it's great. It's pretty short and totally worth checking out. Okay, so this next one is one that I have absolutely recommended before. So if you've heard about it and you haven't picked it up yet, like, what are you doing? This is called Cues by Vanessa Van Edwards. And Vanessa is a body language expert. Okay, I want to call her like a body language psychologist, because she does so much like intricate study into the psychology of like the signals, the nonverbal signals that we are sending people at all times. And one of the reasons, like, honestly, I try to reread this every single year because if you think about it, even on video, how we communicate in our content, the photos that we post of ourselves on our website. She did a fascinating study in here of like a change in her arm position got her so many more conversions on her website. So imagine knowing how, like, what your body language should be in a picture on your website to encourage people to actually book their appointment with you, right? It sounds so silly, but the psychology is super fascinating. Highly recommend this. This is also great for everything that we do behind the chair. So building trust quickly, you know, a lot of what we do is all about that first impression, kind of that first interaction that we have with people, putting them at ease during the consultation, everything like that. And this is going to help you know that you are sending the right signals. So I feel like body language stuff comes super easily to some people, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have not been formally diagnosed with, you know, autism or ADHD or anything like that, but I have definitely struggled with understanding like how to present myself or understanding other people's body language and all of that. So this just really helped me people better, if that makes any sense. So highly recommend it. Cues by Vanessa Van Edwards. She also does have a YouTube channel with a few videos on it, but honestly, I can't recommend this enough. This will probably be in every single book recommendation, like video, podcast episode that I do. Okay, so the next two books are by two women that I really, really admire, and they are kind of the story of how they built their companies. And I really like to read biographies from people in the beauty industry who have grown to success, because I do think that our industry is special and unique, and I feel like the people who work in our industry are different. Like, we are just different, the way we function, what we're looking for, and all of that. So these two books I highly recommend. They're both super short and super easy to read. But I have I'm Not Really a Waitress, and this is by Susie Weiss Fishman, which is the creator of OPI nail polish. So this was really fun. What I like about it too is that it just reminds you that no business success is linear, meaning no business success comes without struggle, without moments of doubt, without big mistakes that you think are going to maybe like ruin what you're doing. Doubt, people, you know, who support you, and people on the other end of the spectrum, like super, super fun. And I am just like a nail polish nail girl. So I just find it really fun to see how she started naming things. The main way too that she got her name out there and got so many people understanding who she was literally running around town with nail polish like rubber banded together and going to all the different salons. So just so much like hustle and determination and grit. And I think, you know, now OPI is like a standard even on movie sets. They have collabs with all the major like popular media events and everything. So I mean, it's just really cool to see how things start and where they go. So highly recommend this. I'm Not Really a Waitress, the story of OPI, super, super cool. And then lastly, the other book is from Allie Webb. It's called The Messy Truth, and she was the creator of Dry Bar. So if you guys know Dry Bar, it is now a franchise. So she built it from one single location into tons of locations, and then was able to franchise it and then ultimately sell it. She also has a whole tool line and everything. Like, she's become, like, Dry Bar is a huge force in the industry now, and it really filled kind of a hole that was in the industry. So really fascinating to see her thought process on starting it, how she got started, and then again, this same thing where it's like understanding her challenges, she is, if you guys are into astrology at all, she's a Pisces, and like, I know so many successful Pisces, but Pisces are traditionally known as like disorganized, kind of dreamy, like they're not that stereotypical CEO, like masculine, aggressive energy. And so I found it super refreshing, mostly because of that, because it is like this feminine, soft approach, and how she was still able to garner the support that she needed, how she got, funding and just built this incredible brand and then sold it. Her story is messy, the messy truth. And again, that's refreshing. A lot of times we just see what's online, we see the success that everyone's having, and it can feel really isolating when you are in those moments of stress, doubt, imposter syndrome, when you're going through your own like valley. So, call in your friends when you need some friends who understand what you're going through. I also think it's really important, again, with reading, because they say that we are the 5 people who we hang out with the most. And it's pretty idealistic to think that we're going to find 5 people who have the same exact, direction that we have, who have accomplished what we want to accomplish, like in our, city or area, that we're able to track them down, that we have the time in our schedule to really make that a priority. But books and, podcasts, or like listening to books and, watching these videos and things, I think are a great way to really expand your circle, but also make sure that you are hanging out and getting that mindset, the different conversations, all of that from like on a regular basis. It shows you a lot. The last thing that I will say is that one of the YouTube channels that I've been watching a lot is Layla Hormozi, which, if you guys don't know the Hormozis, they have worked their way essentially from the bottom. They owned one gym, and then now they are, on their track to become billionaires. So now they are able to buy companies, kind of flip them, and they're really documenting their journey from, this place where they were hustling so much and not making any money, to now being where they are on trying to reach that next level of success. And something that I like about Layla is that she talks a lot about fuck your mood, follow the plan. And that's just something I think that's really important. And I wouldn't have thought about that or found that if I hadn't been watching her channel. And that has already helped me so much in 2025, because as an entrepreneur, it is all on us, right? It is all on our shoulders. We can't really have a bad season without impacting our business. So it doesn't matter if we feel like it. It doesn't matter if we're having like a bad day or a good day. It's just about, showing up, following the plan, going business as usual, and ultimately doing that allows us to see the success that we deserve to see. That is the whole thing. We give ourselves breaks like so easily. And so having that little bit of accountability, whether it's in an imaginary mentor or, you let me be your mentor, like whatever, but having that little bit of accountability, that little voice inside of your head, I think is huge. So if you like YouTube videos, I would go over and check out her channel. So those are the books that I'm recommending for 2025. Now, honestly, I'm actually reading Onyx Storm. If you know, you know. I am trying to read it slowly because I don't want to miss it. Like, are you guys ever reading like a book like that, like a fun smut adventure book, and you're almost reading it too fast that you have to like go back and read it again? It's like, no, I didn't feel this enough. Like this scene didn't like hurt me enough. I need to go back and like reread it a second time. So I'm trying to savor it. I'm trying to go slow and just really put myself in that place. So if you guys know, you know, Onyx Storm. But Anyway, what are you guys reading and listening to right now? Where are you finding your inspiration? What has been helping you stay, focused and consistent and motivated? I would love to know. So please drop your comments on this live stream, comment on Spotify, or leave a review on Apple, and let's chat books. Let's see and share where we're getting our inspiration so that we all can continue to grow together. All right, thanks for popping in. I will see you all next week. Bye.